I assume if you're watching this video, then you know what Transformers Devastation is. But if you don't, then let me fill you in. Transformers Devastation was a hack-and-slash Transformers game released in 2015 by Platinum Games and published by everyone's favorite, Activision. I was actually able to get my hands on a physical copy of this game back before it got taken down, though my mom would end up trading a bunch of my old PlayStation 4 games into GameStop. And at the time, I didn't really care, but years later, I would realize how devastating this was. I could have been rich, man. Like, seriously, major doubloons be made with that, because, I mean, hell, it's pretty expensive for a copy of this game. Now, I would end up forgetting about this game for many, many years, until about a month ago, when I decided to go and see if anyone had the game online that I could download, and obviously, someone did. So thank you to the random person who put the entire game on Internet Archive for me to download. Very awesome shit. Anyway, I got the game set up and then forgot about it for about 2 weeks. I'm really bad at starting and finishing games sometimes, and this was true about me being bad at starting it, but not for the latter. I had no problem finishing this game. Once I started it, I just couldn't stop playing. It's a really fun, action-packed game that always keeps you entertained and excited for the next level. One of those reasons is absolutely the fucking music. The music is seriously probably one of my favorite parts of the entire game. It is so fun and energetic. It's super upbeat music with a lot of electric guitar, and it's fucking awesome. It is so good. Every single boss fight, when the music starts playing, is just awesome. It's amazing. And speaking of the fights, the fighting, which is, you know, kind of the main part of the game, is really good. It's nothing crazy, nothing super complex, a pretty simple system, but really fun nonetheless. And I think that's why I like it so much. It's a simple fighting system, but it's still so fun each time. It doesn't get repetitive, which I thought it might by the time it got closer to the end of the game, but it was just as fun at the end of the game as it was at the beginning. And I think that can be pretty hard for a game to pull off, so it's pretty cool that they were able to do it really well in this game. Another reason that the combat doesn't get boring is because the game really isn't that long. It has 7 chapters, and it only took me a few hours to beat it. Maybe like 5 or 6 hours. And the chapters seem to get shorter and shorter each time. Chapter 1 is like an hour and a half long, and Chapter 6 is literally, I think, 2 missions. Maybe 3. It's really short, especially towards the end of the game, but there was still also more for me to collect, and I also only did the game on normal mode, so if I did a hard mode playthrough and did 100%, it'd probably take me longer to beat, which I do plan on doing that, at least going back and playing it on the harder difficulty. Not sure if I'll go through and try to 100% it, but I do plan on going back and playing it on the hard difficulty, because normal difficulty really isn't hard at all. I think I literally failed 1 mission, and it was the first Protect Wheeljack mission, because I wasn't paying attention and he died. That's the only mission I failed the entire game. It's not that hard of the game. But I'm not saying that the game is bad because it's easy. Not at all, actually. The fact that the game is easy doesn't really get in the way of the game because it's just such an enjoyable experience, with really good combat and boss fights that keep you engaged the entire time. And of course, the boss fights are another amazing aspect of the game. They fucking nail these fights every single time. They always have these really cool intros for them, and again, the music is amazing for them. All the boss fights are super fun, except for maybe one, and that would be the second to last boss fight, where it's the Constructicons for like the 3rd fucking time. You fight them a lot. You fight the Constructicons themselves a lot and Devastator multiple times. And then Menasor comes in again. This is like the 2nd time you fought him. So you gotta fight 2 combiners in a pretty small arena, and it just isn't super fun because it's just 2 bosses that have now been reused, which isn't a big deal, but especially with Devastator, it's like, this is like the 50th fucking time he showed up. They really like to use Devastator, and at that point, I was just kind of pretty tired of that, but besides that, nothing bad to say about the bosses. And the final boss is so good. Fighting Megatron in space was a lot of fun and really, really cool. And I think that playing the game on a harder difficulty will actually make it a lot better, because that boss was actually pretty quick to get through and beat. But I think just the entire game in general would just be a lot better on a harder difficulty than normal. And I would definitely recommend just playing the game on a harder, like the hard difficulty, even if it's your first time playing. Because to be honest, on normal difficulty, you could really easily bully the bosses. You could just time up the attacks and just fucking destroy them. It was also really cool hearing the voices for the Autobots and Decepticons, since multiple of them were the original voice actors from the original show, reprising their role in the game. Of course, you have Peter Cullen for Optimus Prime, Frank Welker for Megatron and Soundwave, Dan Gilvezan, I think I might have butchered that, and I apologize, for Bumblebee, Greg Beggar for Grimlock and Longhaul, and Michael Bell for Sideswipe and Scraper. And hearing the familiar voices, especially for Optimus and Megatron, just makes it even better, because Peter Cullen is literally, he is the definitive Optimus voice, and it's always awesome hearing him in the game and in any Optimus that he does. And of course, he does a terrific job, and all the actors do a great job in this game. I really do have very little negative-wise to say about this game. It's just a really fun game to play. You can honestly probably sit down and play it in just one sitting. What does really suck, like majorly hard, is at the end of the game, a DLC was teased with Nova Prime, and we will never get that DLC. There is a 0% chance that we get this DLC, because they lost the rights to Transformers in around 2017, so they had to take down the Transformers games, which of course wasn't just Devastation, but also War and Fall for Cybertron and maybe other ones, but I think those were the three, which is a huge shame, because these games are all fantastic. Not just Devastation, but War and Fall for Cybertron, seriously peak Transformers games. Now, with all that said and done, I highly, highly, highly recommend this game, and if you've ever had the chance to play it, please do. It isn't going to be a revolutionary game that's going to change your life or anything, but it's just a simple, super fun game that I feel isn't talked about enough. And that's really all I've got for this video. See you later.